Okay, now on for my E names. My first girl name is my favorite girl name for E. And kind of along the lines of Annalisa for A, you have two names combined together. And it's two names that I thought went really well as a first and middle name. And then I just thought it sounded really interesting if you combined the names and put them together. And that name is Emma Jean. And that sounds a little similar to Imogen, but it's Emma Jean, and I like Emma Jean better. Emma Jean kind of has an old-fashioned country sound to it, like a hillbilly sound a little bit, but I think it's cute, and I can totally see myself naming a girl Emma Jean. Then you have the old classic name, ever still so popular, Elizabeth. And like I said, I'm not huge on naming someone after family, and my middle name is Beth, so if I were to use the name Elizabeth, the name Beth, I'd probably use it in Elizabeth, maybe like Emma Jean Elizabeth. That'd be cute. Actually, I kind of like that. And then next is Emberly. Emberly, I just thought sounded really interesting and not common, not super popular, unique. Then you have Elise and Elsie are next to Elise and Elsie were names I thought, like, if I ever had twin girls with both starting with the letter E, maybe Elise and Elsie would be a cute combo. Like I said, I don't really necessarily have a specific reason for liking the name, I just like it. Erin is a very, very popular girl name, but I actually like Erin better for a girl than a boy. Then there's Emmy. Emmy is a name that I think is really kind of sweet and pretty feminine sounding, and I can just picture this sweet little girl with like maybe rosy cheeks or something running around the playground. I'm Emmy. And there's Erica. Erica is another very popular girl name, feminine take on Eric. Then a name I just recently came across. It can be a unisex name. I actually really like it for a girl over a boy, and that is Ellery. I think Ellery is a really interesting, cute name. Then there's Elowyn. Elowyn kind of reminds me of kind of floating, angelic. And there's Ebby. Ebby is also a unisex name, but I do like it for a girl. Isley is next. And then Ileana. Ileana is a name I just think sounds really, really, really pretty. And then there's Ella May. Like Emma Jean, Ella May just kind of sounds old-fashioned hillbilly, but I kind of like it. Last year when I was engaged, my ex-fiance and I were thinking about naming a child Lily May. And I was kind of against it for my own personal reasons. But it was kind of compromising, actually. But I do like Ella May better than Emma Jean and Ellie Mae, and Ella May, not Ellie Mae, but Ella May, are probably like my favorite, like, hillbilly country old sounding names. And then my last girl name is Eliana. You have Ileana and Eliana. And I just, like Ileana, I thought Eliana was very pretty as well. For boys, my first E name is my favorite E name for a boy is Evander. And Evander was not used to, it was not always my favorite pick for a boy for E name. In fact, I just recently came across the name Evander, and I just think it sounds strong and masculine and neat. Then there's Evan. Evan actually was my favorite E name for a boy, but I would never use it because it is a family name. It's also very close to my ex-fiance's name. But I also like it because I am a fan of figure skater and Olympic gold medalist Evan Lysenchuk. I was super psyched when he won. Then there's Eric. Then after Eric, there's Eason. Eason is an interesting take on Easton. It's just without the T. And Easton is more popular and more common, but I think Eason is an interesting sound of it. Then we have Ethan. Ethan is a name that I've liked for a long time. Then Edison. I worked with an Edison, and I think most people would associate with Thomas Edison, but when I heard it with a coworker whose first name was Edison, when I heard it as the first name, I thought it just sounded really neat. Then there's Elliot. Then Alam. I think Alam is an interesting sounding name. Elwood is kind of a throw-on name. I was trying to think of E names. E is a letter for some names. For some genders are kind of hard to figure out. Not as hard as some letters, but E can be a little challenging, and I thought Elwood was an interesting sounding name. And then there's Edward. And then Eldon. Eldon can be a take on elder. In my church, there are elders, and so it'd be weird to name a kid Elder. But like Eldon. And then there's Elgin. Elgin is just kind of a fun name. Would never name a child Elgin, but it's a fun name to say. Elias. It's a scriptural name. Elijah is also a scriptural name. And then Ellington, again with the Ington. I am with the Ington. I don't know why I'm in that phase, but I really like Ington names. Oh, I should just name a kid Ington, huh? That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. Anyway, those are my E names.